Hey Jay, as promised, this is Lori with Soul Sisters Digital. Thanks for our one-to-one last week. I am shooting this video to show you how your business stacks up against your competition online, and also to give you some steps that you can take to improve things. So as we talked about, as Google crawls the web, it is really looking for three things: content, citations, and backlinks. So those are the things I'm going to talk about during this video. When I'm talking about content, I'm really just referring to the words and images on your site. Google likes to see between 1,500 and 2,000 words at a minimum on the page. That allows it to really understand and give a good idea of what you do and where you are. The exact amount is going to depend kind of on the competition and also the number of keywords needed. So what's a keyword? A keyword is anything someone might type into Google looking for a particular service or product. So let's look at what a typical Google search might look like for you. So I went to my browser and I typed in painters, Gainesville, Florida. At the top of the page, now you see kind of these ads, but if there's no ads currently running, what you'll see first is this map pack. The top three listed here are going to get the most traffic because they are super easy to find. There's a ton of information for the consumer kind of right there. And the way to get into the top three, really hits that view all, is to, one, have a Google business page, two, have it filled out as completely and accurately as possible, and three, have your name, address, and phone number listed in as many relevant directories on the web as possible. So almost anything can count for that. It could be Yelp, it could be Yellow Pages, sometimes, or not sometimes, but Facebook could even qualify. But the more times you have that happen, the more power it gives to your profile. Every place you do that is considered a citation. The idea being that your brand begins to be found by Google all over the internet, and the larger that online presence is, the more Google trusts you. Now below that, below the map pack, is what we call the organic results. Organic just means non-paid. Ideally, you want to be in the top three here as well. By being in the top three of both, you'll see about a 30% increase in traffic to your website. But back to content for just a second. So I've got your website pulled up here. I like the fact that you have pictures of your work and kind of seeing, what it is possible for you to do. But there just really isn't much content. In fact, when I plug you into a word counter, you get it comes up with 75 words. So there's definitely room to grow with that. Now, in contrast, let's take a look at your competition. So if I look at the organic results down here, so Yelp, that's a directory. I don't count that. So the top competitive result is actually CertaPro Painters. So I'm going to pull them to look at. Whose is a directory? I don't know, pronounce that. Angie's List. So then the next, these are both directories. Course Paint is the next competitor. So here is the Certa Painters website, and this is the Course Paint. As you can see, they have more content than you do. Definitely a lot more content. And when I go to analyze something, I use this tool called RFs. And what this tells me is that you are not really getting any traffic at all for your website. But what you are getting is being driven by two keywords. This is what Google has found you for, and that's Whitney Painting and Whitney and Jay. There's a little bit of volume associated with those, but you're in position 9 for Whitney Painting and in position 44. Those are pretty far down. Most people are not going to go that far down. So in contrast, let's take a look at the Certa Painters. The Certa Painters is actually getting 137 visits per month to their website. That is being driven from 346 keywords. And if you look at this one, for example, Painters, Gainesville, Florida, that's being searched 50 times per month. They're in position 2 for that. So because they're in position 2, they're getting 17 visits alone just from that keyword. This one, Gainesville Painters, 40 search volume. They're in position 2. They're getting 16 visits from there. But you can see the difference it makes to appropriately target those keywords. If we look at Course Paint, they are getting 54 visits per month, and that's from 688 keywords. If we drill down and look at theirs, Painters Gainesville, Florida, that same one as the other provider of service, but they're in position 7, so they're not getting quite as much traffic because they're a little further down, but that's the difference. Now, the last piece of the ranking puzzle is what we call backlinks. A backlink is anywhere you find one website linking back to another via kind of hyperlink text. These links act like an endorsement of your website from others, which Google uses to build trust in your business by seeing others vouching for you. It is literally like a popularity contest where the person with the most wins. But these are not all links are created equal, and Google takes a weighted approach to that. Those relevant to your website are going to count more, as will those that are local. Additionally, you want those links that coming in to be powerful in their own right. That also helps. So when I'm looking at this tool again, RFs, I can see that you have one referring domain come in. But rather than worrying, because it is a weighted approach, rather than worrying about exactly how many domains or backlinks you have, I take a look at these scores. This kind of analyzes and tries to mimic Google. And it's telling me that on a scale of 0 to 100, as far as power goes, you're looking at about a 1 for the amount of backlinks, or the power of the backlinks coming in. And how much does Google trust that link? It's about a 0.4. If we look at CertaPro, they've got a lot of power coming in, lots of powerful links coming in, but the trust is not there. So, ideally you want these numbers to be as close to each other as possible. So 70 and 7 is pretty disparate. So that would be something that I think could be beat because it is so off in that respect. And then for course paint, these aren't too far apart, but you're looking at a 4.9 and an 8. And so these are the numbers that I really try and look at when I'm comparing those backlink profiles. But once all of those things start to come together, that's when you start ranking higher and higher. And that's when customers start finding you. I hope that this information's been helpful. Would love to hear some feedback. If you do find yourself wanting to learn more or just kind of investigate it a little bit further, please feel free to reach out. I can help you with some more information. We can talk about your goals, and I can do the research to find out exactly what could be realistic for your business and what it might take to reach those goals. Again, hope this was helpful. Look forward to the feedback. Lori Soul Sisters Digital Design. My number is 352-235-9803. Have a great day.